Hello, I'm Ajahn Jyotipalo. Welcome to Sauntering into Silence. My ankle had been doing really well, and then about a week ago it started feeling kind of arthritic, is how I would describe it. Yesterday I had a follow-up with my surgeon, and she confirmed that one of the screws in the ankle is broken. So that's probably what's causing the discomfort. Neither her nor my physical therapist are concerned about that. They say it happens all the time. We'll probably have the screws removed maybe in about a month's time. So in the meantime, I'm gonna get out a little bit, but not as aggressive as I had been last week. What I'm gonna do for my YouTube videos, and I think I've done it for the last 2 or 3, is take some of the old Dhamma talks that I gave, and I'm kind of cleaning them up and putting them to some visuals. So if you haven't checked out my videos for a while, you might check out the last 2 or 3 as well. Hope everybody's well. Thanks for watching. Ajahn Jeff Tanisaro Bhikkhu had come out with his latest meditations book. It was quite fun reading the titles for this new book. A couple of them just really struck me. I thought they were really skillful, just even in the titles. One was called Chickens from Hell. And I was like, what in the world's that going to be about? I just watched my mind with that fascination, that sort of interest. What's chickens from hell? Like, what in the world's he talking about? Or what's that going to be about? I very specifically decided not to read it right away because it's like, that's burning in the back of my mind. I wonder what that's about. There's some interest, there's excitement. I'm actually looking forward, going back and diving into the book just based on that one title. I just like that. It's that, It's a wholesome mental meditation quality to have that in the back of the mind. I wonder what that's about. That in and of itself, just sort of using that as a Dhamma reflection, bringing up interest, bringing up the mind that is asking questions and is investigating how to do that skillfully and how to do it kind of naturally, spontaneously, having that inquisitiveness about life, about what's going on in our own experience, our experiential reality, what's actually happening. Tea time tonight, one of the questions was about mindfulness, developing mindfulness, and how do you keep that consistent? All of us have had the experience of being concentrated or being mindful. We know it's hard to keep that consistent. Asked if there were any advice or anything that I remembered from other teachers talking about. Quite a few years ago now, I attempted to do a walk, a tudong, from New Orleans to Canada, walking along the Mississippi River. Right before I did the walk, river not feeling very well. Wasn't sure if it was smart to even kind of start the walk. On the way down to New Orleans, I'd been reading a book, John Steinbeck's, called Travels with Charlie. He's planning a long journey across the country, and as the time's getting closer and closer to his departure date, he started noticing all the comforts of home, the things that he knows, all the things that are familiar to him start becoming more and more precious. Kind of deep down in his gut doesn't want to go. The uncertainty, the kind of fear factor. And then he actually makes the comment, he says, I could get sick, but then I wouldn't have to go. And so I was like looking at my own predicament and thinking, I wonder if this is waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for the right state of mind, the body being in the right conditions, the monastery being in the right conditions, and then I'll practice. John Steinbeck, comes to the conclusion that, at a certain point, you just have to make that determination and go and do it. He makes another comment in the book when planning for a journey. It's like he says, you don't take a journey takes you. And I started thinking about that during the sit. I'd actually never really deconstructed that thought. And I was like, well, I wonder what he means by that a journey takes you. And I was like, well, where does it take you? And it takes you to new areas. It takes you to meet new people. It takes you to experience new situations. Opens you up to your narrow confines of what's comfortable, of what you know, to experiencing, exploring things that are unknown. At one level, that's external. It's really all internal. Even if you're going outside your physical environment, as Ajahn Amaro is always pointing out, it's like, the universe is in our head. When we see new, those sights are being processed in our mind. The things we hear are being processed in our mind. Taste, the smells, the touch, the feelings about those things are all happening inside the mind. A bunch of us had physical therapy appointments in town and physically had to leave the monastery. We're putting ourselves in a situation where waiting for a long, long time, but our minds were still with us. Like what were we doing? Were we being aware of our bodies? Were we being aware of sense restraint? Were we being aware of helping each other out? And we each had our own experiences. Like some people enjoyed it, some people probably had aversion, some people were neutral. Whatever we were experiencing, that can just be where we were and being aware of that. It's not that enjoying it was right or wrong, or having aversion to it was right or wrong, but it's just knowing, okay, that's where I am. Some level, like having these journeys can open us up to new experiences, to learn more about the mind, to learn about our own reactions. Where if we're always just putting ourselves in the exact same situation that we know and can control, it can seem safe. It can seem that we know what's going on, that we're in control, have that sense of, practice is really going well. To a certain extent, that's needed. That's why we do go on retreats. Why we do spend lots of time in solitude, so we can study the mind in that particular situation. So then, when we have these experiences where we do have to leave that comfort, we hopefully have some sort of tools to work with. We understand the mind enough to be in a new situation and to not overreact or to get judgmental, to be critical.